welcome to the Future of the Music Business. This is Steve Gordon. Today, I want to welcome to the show Fiona Bloom. Fiona is a well-known music publicist, promoter, and public relations and social media expert. But we're going to discuss or focus on her partnership with YouTube, and it's called Efficacy, and we'll explore the ins and outs of how she started and how you can start a YouTube channel, how to monetize it, and the reasons for doing it in the first place. But before I welcome Fiona, I want to share with you a few of mind-blowing facts about YouTube, give you an idea of what a phenomenon it's become. As everyone knows, it's a video sharing website. It was created in 2005, and it's been owned by Google since 2006. Now, as of last year, 60 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute, or 1 hour of video is uploaded to YouTube every second. There are 4 billion videos viewed a day, and approximately 1 billion unique users visit YouTube each month, and over 3 billion hours of video are watched each month on YouTube. Now, in 2007, YouTube started its partner program, offering companies and people like Fiona the opportunity to monetize the videos that they upload. Now, a little bit on Fiona before I introduce her to you. She's a music industry publicist and social media expert, as I said. She runs the New York City agency, The Bloom Effect, which represents numerous recording artists and organizes high-profile events on behalf of her industry clientele. And finally, Billboard magazine listed her among the 140 music business Twitterati to follow. Fiona, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me, Steve. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Before we talk about Efficacy, tell us a little bit about your career and the Bloom Effect.
Well, I guess I can call myself a veteran at this point, because anybody that's had a career that's long-lasting, 18 plus years in this business, is very fickle business. That is pretty much a maven/industry veteran. So I wear many hats, with the Bloom Effect. It's a one-stop shop. I founded it in 2007, so it's a little over 5 years old. Prior to that, I was working at a lot of record companies and also was booking festivals, and did some freelance PR work as well. So with the Bloom Effect, being a one-stop shop, we specialize in branding, marketing, social media training, video promotion, and for the most part, which is where I get my most clients, is publicity, which is both traditional and digital. Lately, it's been less traditional because artists, clients are more concerned with going viral and getting exposure through web portals and blogs, etc. So that's kind of the gist of it. I also book big events. I work along with CMJ, South by Southwest, and ACC in Atlanta, producing their international hip-hop showcases yearly, which have become quite successful as well. So there you have it, sort of where, a lot of different hats. Yeah.
And you also host panels, and I guess I was inspired by your hosting of a panel at a Women in Music event on YouTube or social media, and there was a woman there who was the partnership person for YouTube, partnership with labels, and then you talked a little bit about your channel, which I tuned into, called Efficacy, and that inspired me to invite you today. So tell us a little bit about Efficacy. What is it, and what inspired you to launch it?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I launched it in 2008 when YouTube, for the most part, was still a fairly new platform. Obviously it was being used, but it was just uploading video, and people weren't realizing what an effect it would have socially across the board and interactivity and engagement. So I just, created the channel there and came across the name Efficacy sort of as a play on words, because my company, The Bloom Effect, efficacy meaning to create a desired effect. That's the literal definition. So it was sort of a play on words, effect, efficacy. I thought, that's an unusual word. I probably think that half these people aren't going to know what the hell it means, but it's intriguing enough.
I looked it up, actually.
People would look it up, exactly. And it would eventually catch on. I mean, it's not the easiest name to memorize or say, but again, it ends up being catchy once you hear it numerous times.
Well, what is it? Tell us about it.
So the Efficacy channel basically was inspired by All the artists that I've come across on my journey, which is hundreds, I mean thousands, I should say, because I'm out almost every night. I'm always discovering someone new, some new artist that blows me away, or an artist that has a passion or a flair for something. And then I travel around the world, as you know, whether it's Mid-Am, whether it's a festival that they've flown me out to speak at, or, an event that I'm producing that's overseas. So I'm always traveling. And on my travels, again, I'm meeting tons and tons and tons of artists. And most of these artists are unsigned. You've never heard of them. You've never heard of them, yet they're maybe quite big in their local market, making quite a bit of noise, doing open mics or doing festivals in small, secondary markets in Holland, for example, or a tiny place in Malaysia or the Maldives. But nobody else has heard of them, right? So here I am coming across them. I think they're all pretty damn amazing. And I'm thinking, these artists need a platform. They need an outlet. They need a place to become discovered, express themselves, and sort of get their message across to American audiences, or at least to, people in the U.S. that they wouldn't ordinarily have otherwise. So I basically started it as a platform for international artists and really artists that just were seeking exposure, that just didn't have any other than their own outlets that they use.
Yeah, I'm on the Efficacy channel now, and you seem to have almost 200 interviews up or posted right now.
Which is pretty wild. Yeah. I mean, again, I started in 2008, but what I didn't realize was what I didn't realize then was that you needed to be consistent with the content, and I didn't really realize what I was doing with YouTube at the time, because again, it was a new platform, fairly new. I was doing publicity, I was focusing on other areas like Facebook and MySpace at the time, and, Twitter and all these other places. So YouTube was kind of the last thing on my mind, if you know what I mean. So it was kind of like, the last breath.
Well, with a billion users, I guess everybody's thinking about exposure.
Well, now, of course,
now.
5 years later, absolutely.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, but you started before the trend, okay?
Of course, that's what I'm trying to say. I created the channel early in 2008, which, yes, YouTube had existed already for 2 years, but nobody was really talking about it in daily conversation. Not like they are now, and certainly not with monetization, and certainly not as a social network.
Well, let's look at what we've got here. The videos that you have, they range in duration, but they're like approximately 10 minutes, and they look pretty good. You use somebody else to shoot the videos?
No. See, this is why it's so unique. No, I don't actually. What I do is I send the artist the outline. It's a general outline of really fun questions.
I see.
And then the artist in turn takes it upon themselves to get the shooter or do it themselves and edit it. So what's beautiful about this is artists get their feet wet in learning editing and learning about shooting 5 to 7 minute videos that they may not have ordinarily done otherwise, or they become more professional about it and say, I'm going to get a shooter to do this, then we're going to go into edit, and I'm going to deliver you something great. So if you look at the 121 episodes that are up right now, some of them are really excellent, some are average, some are, some are so-so. It depends on the artist, depends on how serious they took it. And it depended on their savvy, how savvy they were with creating video. So,
right, we were talking about some of the popularity of some of the videos. Some don't have many views, but an artist like Elisa Chic has 72,000.
Yeah, and she got those basically over 4 days. Like, there was a huge spike. I looked at my dashboard, and I had over 21,000, engagement, retention. Like, you can see in the dashboard, like, how many minutes people are listening. And it was mind-blowing to see, like, 21,000 minutes viewed on Elisa Chic. I was like, holy cow, that's a big number.
Yeah, the video was interesting to watch because she was in her car and she was driving around, and but I guess she's also got a local following already.
She does. She's out of Miami and also Brooklyn. She also travels. She does have a rabid following overseas as well as in Miami. She's a pretty girl. She's young. She's intelligent. She's well-spoken, and her music is great. I've seen her perform. She's killing. She's amazing. Like, I don't know why a major label wouldn't have, scuffed her up already and put her out.
Well, maybe now they'll see and they will. So we've talked about what Efficacy is and a little bit about its popularity. But how does
I should say, Steve, not to cut you off, it's growing popularity. Because from 2008 to 11, you have to realize, or 2008 till 2012, it was really just kind of a side project, just a fun thing that I was doing that was like, an afterthought. Now, since my deal with YouTube, which is very new, I signed a deal in April with the largest music network on YouTube called the IND Music Network, IND, I guess they call it ND. And ever since I've been with ND, they really believe in my content, and they're helping me with audience outreach and, promotion. So through their help and their attention to what I'm doing in detail, it's really put sort of YouTube on the forefront in everything that I'm doing.
Well, that's really interesting. Excited. That was getting into my next issue. I was going to ask you, did you partner with YouTube? But you didn't. You started the channel yourself. I have a YouTube channel, and it's not doing that great. You're doing a hell of a lot better. And then you partnered not with YouTube, but with this company called Indie, and it's helping you promote the videos. How?
Yeah, I mean, they're promoting them via their social pages. Like, not every single video that I put out, but, sometimes they're going to see, because I put them out every Tuesday. So when one comes out, I'll tweet it to them on Twitter or Facebook, and then they retweet to their network, and they post up the new content videos from their channel partners on their social web pages. They post me, on the homepage of their channel on YouTube. And, they do a lot of events themselves. So whether they're at CNJ or New Music Seminar, they have banner ads or signage up that will mention all their partners. So slowly but surely they're starting to put me into, more of their promotional packages. Because, I mean, if you look at their channel, Steve, they have huge partners. I mean, partners that are doing way more business than me. But at the same time, I'm new, they believe in me, and I'm doing something really unique. Unique in the sense that they're all unheard of artists that I'm giving spotlights to that have potential to really shine.
I see. So you're adding special content to their roster. Now let's talk about the fun part, monetization.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are little commercials that usually play in front of your videos. Tell us how that all works with YouTube and Indie, and are you making a lot of money?
No, not making a lot of money yet, but however, I am starting to see some checks, and, even though they're incrementally small at this stage, I do believe that in a year from now, if you ask me that same question, I would be able to say not a lot of money, but a significant amount of money.
Great.
So I'm excited about, the future with my partnership, and as far as, the venture, the type of partnership that I have in terms of what they take, on their end, I'm really not at a level to disclose that information, but I can tell you that it's very much in my best interest. Like, the partnership is definitely more, me than them. Their sharing in the revenue is a very small percentage, considering what they're doing and what they bring to the table. And as far as advertising, I mean, they put select ads. Again, you can choose to skip the ad once you've let 4 to 5 seconds play. But they strategically have the ads in the beginning and some at the end, and you can choose which how often you want the ads to run, etc. Whether it's just on the channel, whether it's just on a piece of content, or, if you want something more than that, they give you that option as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And you get that option from Indie or directly from YouTube, or Indie works with YouTube on that?
Indie works with YouTube on that.
Right, because I monetized my book video, and I got a pizza commercial, and I'm thinking about taking that down, but not the video, but demonetizing. So it sounds good that you have some control. Yeah. Now, there's been a lot of, actually not that much discussion when you compare it to Spotify about what YouTube does or doesn't pay artists. And a lot of people are saying, basically, YouTube doesn't tell you, but some people are very satisfied with the arrangement. One major indie said, I don't know how they figure it out, but I'm happy with the money that I'm getting from our YouTube partnership. Is that where you are with this?
Yeah, well, especially for me, since I'm still very new and still really growing my channel. But I have other artists that I work with who have a lot more, viewership, and working with other YouTube partners as well. And everybody across the board seems very happy. Yeah, I mean, I really haven't heard any negative opinion yet. So.
Well, are you getting any kind of accounting statements from YouTube?
Yes. I get them every month.
And what kind of information can you give us about how YouTube calculates what your share of revenues are? Do you have any idea?
Well, that's a little gray for me, Steve.
Yeah, okay.
I can't really comment on that. I mean,
I've heard that you get the checks and the calculations aren't in there, but we'll find out sooner or later exactly how YouTube is working.
I think as it becomes more popular, the more monetization and more users, more content, it's a doing that, I think then it will come more to light. It will be less gray and more black and white. Absolutely.
All right. Now, how would you recommend that artists themselves or small labels or anybody in the music business should use a YouTube partnership? How would you recommend, or let's ask this, what kind of indie artists would you recommend try to do this themselves?
Wow, to be honest, I would recommend every artist try to do this themselves. Every artist should be using the tools and the promotional stuff that YouTube offers that's free. Their handbook, which is fantastic, their curated series. I mean, really, everybody has that at their fingertips. It's just a matter of the artist, stop not being lazy and getting off their arses and creating more opportunities for themselves. I mean, I think all artists should take advantage of what YouTube has to offer. And as far as going into partnerships, I mean, it's really up to you. I mean, I think initially the artist has to make some noise first. The artist has to at least come with, maybe not 100,000 channel views, but at least have enough content up there that they can then go to a partner and say, look, I have 50, up. I'm getting, between 500 to 750 views over 2-3 days. I'm getting, queries from Germany, queries from Japan. When it gets to that level, that's definitely when it's time to seek out a partner to help you take it to the next level. But I think every artist should be able to take advantage of this. Absolutely.
Now, I understand from that panel discussion, there was a woman from YouTube on the panel that YouTube gives good analytics on the demographics and the geographical location. How does that work?
Oh, wow. I mean, if you go into your dashboard, I mean, Steve, I'm sure you see it for your channel
website
as well. Yeah. When you go on the dashboard, I mean, it breaks it down from everything to, demo to the type of gadgets that people are actually opening your videos up in, whether it's, your smartphone or referred by YouTube user, and breaks it down into all the territories, gives you the top 10 countries, then you can go into all the pages and see every single country and every single person, audience that's watched your video, the length, the retention, like how long they're watching. I mean, there's so much information there. The analytics is huge.
I'm familiar with the analytics for my website, but I've never checked the analytics for my YouTube station.
Why would you check? I mean, that would be one of the first things you would do.
Well, I'm on my YouTube channel now, and is it easy to find where the analytics are?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't speak for everybody's channel, but I would imagine if you're a partner with YouTube or a partner with an aggregator that works with YouTube, I would imagine it's got to be fairly easy. I mean, you go into your back end under Video Manager, right? Everybody would have my channel Video Manager subscriptions. And when you see your Video Manager, the first thing that pops up is dashboard. Then you see your Video Manager. Then you have tags, you have copyright notices, you have channel settings, and then under that is analytics.
Right.
And when you click on your analytics, it breaks down every single video. You can click on every single piece of content that you put out and see your earnings reports, estimated earnings, ad performance, view reports, demographics, playback locations, traffic sources, devices, audience retention, subscriber base, new likes, favorites, comments, sharing. I mean, it's great. It's incredible.
And it's all free. In other words, and you actually may make some money. So that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next for efficacy? Any plans to enhance the service, or what do you see in the future?
Yes, what I'd like to do with the efficacy series is start to do some showcases, pick maybe some of the best videos that come through. Maybe, I put them out every Tuesday, so it's once a week. So as they get delivered, maybe have fans, because it's always great to engage with your fans, have the fans choose their favorite efficacy webisodes from. So that would be 4 times 3, because it's 4 weeks. So 4 times 3 would be 12. So out of 12, pick your top 3. And the top 3 that come in, that are tabulated, that I would tabulate, or maybe I'd partner with Reverb Nation. We'll see. I mean, Reverb Nation wants to work with me, so we'll see. But we would tabulate them, and those top 3, those winners, so to speak, will get selected to play a showcase, whether it's Le Poisson Rouge, Drum, anywhere. We take it to New York, maybe we'll do it in DC, maybe we'll even do it in LA. And what I'd eventually like to do in 2014 and 2015 is partner with a South by Southwest or with a CMJ and do an actual efficacy showcase with, one of those conferences. So that's down the line. And then also as far as, additional things with revenue, I obviously want to see, I want to bring in a lot more money. And then I want to get to the level where I have my own video production team that can go out on the field and shoot and edit as well. Because that way I get to pay them. Because at this stage, I'm not paying anyone.
Well, it sounds terrific. It sounds like, the opportunities here are almost limitless. And I have a new client club at Simulcast, and we're thinking about partnering with YouTube. So it's an amazing time in the business, especially for entrepreneurs, I think.
Absolutely.
And I think you've captured the spirit of this climate really well.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for joining us today, and I want to ask you if you have any other advice about getting started with this YouTube partnership situation or building a successful channel.
Yeah, my best advice to artists out there and brands is to really believe in the brand that you have, find your voice, make sure that it's unique and authentic, and just shoot. Get out there and shoot. You've got all kinds of opportunities with your smartphone. You could use video cams, don't even have to be expensive anymore. They're so cheap. Just go out and capture content, create content, capture content. You on the way to the nail salon, you backstage hanging out with another musician, just let fans see your personality. When they see your personality, you share that, you upload that to YouTube, and make sure that these videos, these pieces, these viral pieces that we call them, make sure that they're not as long, not too long, because the attention span for most fans out there, they do say is 2 minutes. If it's a music video, that's different. But if it's a viral piece, it's usually 2 to 3 minutes. So yes, you might say, well, Fiona, your efficacy series is 7 minutes long. Yes, you're absolutely right. So part of me is also thinking to cut down some of the questions and make them a little shorter. Absolutely. Because people don't watch all 7 minutes. They're going to watch about 2 to 3 minutes on average. Unless they're absolutely a huge fan, then they'll watch from beginning to end. But 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to watch your clips from beginning to end. So as far as that advice, just shoot, get out there, create that content, upload your content, and start having fun.
Yeah, and you can start by looking efficacy up. I just Googled efficacy YouTube, and it came right up.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Good. The other way it could come right up is if you just do a search on my name, Fiona Bloom. Because again, the efficacy name is a little bit hard to remember.
I think it's very classy, Fiona.
Thank you.
So Fiona Bloom, head of the Bloom Effect and of the YouTube channel Efficacy, I just want to thank you very much for sharing your time with us today.
And thank you for having me, Steve.
That's the way.